Welcome, everybody, to the PopGaming Podcast, episode number 2, your place for gaming news, gaming-related topics, and other nonsense. Our awesome intro was created by Jonathon Tucker and Agony Wolf. Just want to say thank you, guys. It's amazing.
Thank you.
I'm your host, Scott.
And I'm Ruben. Howdy, hi.
I'm the other host, Dee.
And today we actually got quite a few interesting news topics that we'll be talking about. I guess we can jump right into it right now, but the first one we should bring up is the Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order.
You've heard of all black everything? This is Star Wars everything.
Yep, because they had EA and Disney had their Star Wars celebration over the weekend, and so we got to see episode 9 trailer, which a lot of people are hyped for. I'm kind of on the fence.
I've not watched it. I'm not a Star Wars girl. I'm
more excited for this one.
Well, I haven't seen anything past which ones were the old ones?
A New Hope, Empire
the
Strikes
original
Back.
trilogy?
Yeah, like the original ones from the 70s.
Yeah, the real ones, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. And then I remember one with Jar Jar, and that was it.
Did that
Okay,
end
so yeah, you're
I killed it. I was out at that point.
I mean, you shouldn't watch those anyways.
Oh.
Right,
Sounds like Ruben might have something to say there.
Here guys, Scott's making somebody mad this early in. So looks like in the past couple days we've gotten Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. We've gotten VR information. We've also gotten episode. Is it 9 already? It's 9.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's 9 of them.
Yeah. That's only if you include the live action, because there's been some animated stuff as well.
Okay. Well, then there's 9. So I know nothing about these. I've never played a Star Wars Battlefront. I've never played. Oh, that's not true. I've played one Star Wars game. The Empire Strikes Back on. I was on a Tauntaun. And I was jumping, probably on Hoth, I assume. and it was. I was on Tauntaun. I don't know. It was the old one.
That's really old. On a Tauntaun.
This is me being on a Tauntaun.
What is that?
It's me being on a I'm holding the reins.
Oh, right. Now I see. Okay.
See, there you go. That was the last one I played. I think it was The Empire Strikes Back, and it was the old one.
Right.
Oh.
Somebody said, love it. Thanks.
What happened?
And I just got this meeting no longer has a time limit. Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. So yeah,
can I jump in with a bit of Star Wars?
you do
Go for it.
Okay, so EA, as sure you guys know, are not well loved when it comes to
anything.
certain games. Yeah, okay, anything. Especially with loot boxes, right? So they basically killed off a whole bunch of their subscribers and people that used to like them. And then they went and bought a whole bunch of a few IP Star Wars games, and there were a few that were looking like they were gonna make some really amazing Star Wars games. There was one, I think, at E3 a couple of years ago that we had a trailer for. It was a bounty hunter one, and they just completely killed that. And so when it comes to fans loving storyline games, campaign games rather than Battlefront, our hopes were kind of sunk if you're a Star Wars fan. As you can see, I am. But with this one, we kind of, the fans were kind of holding their fingers like this, going, please don't kill this one. And so finally we get this trailer. And I have to say, it kind of looks cool.
It's pretty.
It is pretty. It looks like the game's mechanics are you're going to get to be the hero. It is campaign. It's storyline. I'm excited. What do you think, Scott? Did you see the trailer?
I did. I wish I would have seen some gameplay, because they did announce that this comes out, I think, November 15th, if I'm correct. So, it's not too far off. But
Well, you know what they're
like it
waiting
looked more
for.
like. Oh yeah,
E3.
yeah. They're going to be showing stuff off at like E3 and probably just teasing throughout until then. But from what I've gathered through the story, it looks like it's going to be kind of like stealth gameplay because you're basically a Jedi during the like right after Episode 3, where all Jedi are getting hunted down. So you
Yeah,
gotta
right after
keep yourself
Order
hidden.
66, yeah.
Yes, thank you. I was trying to think of the order number, but I couldn't remember it. But yeah, like you're going to be pretty much just trying to be staying hidden the whole time. So I'm guessing this is going to be stealth, and you're going to have to like choose when to use your Force abilities and be careful when you use them.
Yeah.
Because it showed the new hunters that are trying to hunt you down, which I was watching the stream and they called them Purge Hunters. And they're the
Nice.
ones that are hunting down Jedi specifically. And they look kind of like a mixture of Mandalorian and Stormtrooper.
Mm.
And they look badass.
Um,
But yeah, this game looks like it's got my attention. That is for sure.
And off the back of that, when that game comes out, I believe the Mandalorian series, on the new Disney app, they're releasing their miniseries. I think it's got about 8 episodes. With Pedro Pascal, he's going to be I think the leader of the Mandalorian, and that's live action. So they've got this whole kind of universe that they're kind of trickling out just to keep all the Star Wars fans engaged. So we've got that VR game coming out, Vader Immortal, as well. I think they're just Star Wars is here to stay. If people think that it's going away or they've been killed off now, it's just getting bigger, really.
Star Wars is one of those franchises that's, I mean, the problem is if they had just maybe left it as it were, it still would have been around. You know, I haven't seen the new movies, although I probably should. I've been meaning to, but it's just like, it's like sitting down and watching Lord of the Rings. It takes time.
It does.
It takes time, a time of which I do not have enough of. But I gotta say, just as somebody who's not a fan of, like a huge fan of the Star Wars franchise, it's not that I hate it, I just never really got into it. It looks pretty. It actually made me interested in seeing what this game was about.
If you like that sort of game, you should definitely try The Force Unleashed, because those games were great for story and they look pretty and very kind of almost separate of the world. So they're kind of doing their own thing. Although Vader and the Wookiees, all those kind of characters are in it, but you know it could be a contained story. But those were really good. It got you feeling like you were a Jedi, and I'm hoping we still get to do that with this game. So although it's more stealth, you know, you definitely have the lightsaber, you have Force abilities. I guess we've got to wait for gameplay on that.
Yeah, and I also wanted to bring up too that this is done by Respawn Entertainment, which are the guys behind the Titanfall series. And Titanfall 2 was one of my favorite games of, I think it was 2016, 2017 when that came out.
Yeah.
And it just kind of got overshadowed because, and EA just for some reason placed it between Battlefield and Call of Duty in the same month, and it just got ignored. And that storyline to that game was a lot of fun. Yeah, the campaign was amazing.
Yeah, it's really good.
Here I am still.
So I'm excited to see what they do with that.
Yeah, and then along with that, they also dropped, going back to Star Wars, the trailer for the movie. Which Palpatine they confirmed that Palpatine is back somehow. Yeah. Do the voice.
Yeah.
Do it. That's what I've been doing ever since Ruben just mentioned Palpatine. Do it.
Yeah, now this for me, like the trailer looked awesome, but dear God, I am so tired of the nostalgia member berries that these series and everything lately have been coming out with. You remember you remember the Emperor? Yeah, I remember him. Oh, he's in this movie. Remember Lando? Yeah, he's in this movie. Like,
you sound like South Park. Member? Do you remember?
Exactly.
I remember.
Remember?
I'm never gonna.
That's exactly what I'm referencing.
Palpatine is one of the like I said, the old movies I know and more of. I'm never gonna argue about Palpatine though. I think he's cool. I like him.
I'm guaranteed I'll still watch it. And I like him as a villain, but at the same time, it's just, I don't know, it just felt too much nostalgia being beat on our heads again for money's sake.
Yeah, like they're trying to get the old fans in. They like, we've reined the new ones in. Let's get the old ones back in.
I mean, let's be honest. Star Wars fans are the hardest to make happy. You've got the new generation, the old generation, and I mean, if you've ever seen the comments on any one of the new Star Wars, they're just ripped to shreds. It's like, that rule, don't read the comment section for Star Wars. That's so true, because people are so invested. I guess the new kids, old generation, and now J.J. Abrams. I got faith in him because he's, in my opinion, from the new batch, probably the better of the directors. He kind of knows how to hold a big project, which is not easy to do. It's a big franchise. I don't know that you get much bigger other than the Marvel ones.
Right.
And, hopefully they'll do nostalgia, some of it kind of fan service, but also he'll do his own thing, hopefully.
Right. Because episode 7 felt almost too nostalgic, but then episode 8, so many people hated it, but I actually liked it because they went like a completely different route with it. And the only complaint I had was the whole Leia flying through space.
You were going to say that.
So stupid. That looks so dumb.
What this conversation reminds me of, have either of you ever seen Clerks 2?
Yeah.
Yes.
There's only one trilogy, you fucking idiot. And it ain't of the Jedi. Yeah. No, there's only one. Damn it. I know it. Whatever. We were just watching this, and it's just like, because I live with somebody who's really into Lord of the Rings, and so every time he says one ring to rule them all, I think of Elias in the back holding an onion ring, and I sort of like lift it up and be like, one ring to rule them all. And then the guy comes in and he's just like, one ring to find him. And then this whole argument where he like blasts on a Lord of the Rings fan so hard he makes him. I love that movie, and this whole conversation talking about Star Wars fans takes me back.
It totally is that. You get Lord of the Rings fans and Star Wars fan in the same room, that's going to happen. I'm twisted because I love Lord of the Rings, but I know it's a trilogy about people walking to a volcano. You could have just given the ring.
Movies.
Could have just
walk into a fucking volcano.
just give it to the bird. The bird will take the ring and drop it in the volcano. It's fine.
Right. I'm a huge fan of Lord of the Rings, so I'm one of those as well. But I'm a fan of both.
Yeah.
But some people just can't be a fan of both.
No, I guess not.
It's like kids who can only have one best friend.
Yeah, exactly. But the trailer for episode 9, though, I will have to say it did look really cool. And yeah, I know the internet world is blowing up because you hear Palpatine's laugh at the very end of the trailer. And
unlimited power. Yeah, that one.
Yeah. And this shows you how much I pay attention, because I heard that laugh and I'm going, that sounds familiar, but I can't place it.
Who's that guy? Some people thought
I know that laugh, but I'm not sure why.
All right. Well,
should we move on from Star Wars?
we will have to wait and see what they're going to start. I mean, let's see. Next month is May.
May the 4th be with you.
There you go. And oh god, yep, there it is. They're gonna leak, a ton of stuff there. And I think E3's in June, right?
Yeah,
it's like beginning of June, I believe.
Yeah, so that they're gonna be leaking stuff all through May up until
we'll see stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So
especially because EA is not gonna actually have a press conference this year at E3.
Yeah, it's
who
true.
is gonna be at E3 this year? Sony.
Like the people
Sony's
setting
gone.
up the stands.
Sony's not doing it, and Bethesda's not talking about Skyrim this year. So
no, but they are going to be there doing their own press conference. They said.
Yeah, but about what?
It's going to be a new card game.
Right.
God.
Well, hopefully they will address Fallout 76 and the disaster that was.
you know that they're good. They're not.
They're gonna backtrack.
They're not going to admit their mistakes. This is Bethesda we're talking
well, it is Bethesda, and that's why I think they will, because they usually do come out and admit a lot of their faults and make fun of themselves for a lot of the stuff they do.
Yeah, but this
one
a little bit.
This one hurts.
Yeah, this one's pretty intense.
Like, we might get footage from their new game, not Skyrim, but
Starfield.
But Starfield, yeah.
Ooh, yeah, I forgot about Starfield.
That, and they have Doom Eternals coming out soon too, so we'll probably see more about that.
Yep.
I am the biggest thing I'm looking forward to for E3 this year is more info from Outer Worlds. I am so excited. Obsidian is absolutely killing it with Outer Worlds. I am so excited. I want this game so badly because I was so disappointed with Fallout 76, and I'm such a huge fan of the Fallout franchise. And then you lay this pile of smoking hot garbage right in front of my face, and I'm just like,
yeah, when is that coming?
That is coming. I
think it was like September.
Yeah.
October?
So it is this year. Okay.
It's either September or November, and I can't remember which, but it is this fall. And I'm so excited. I can't wait to play it. I do, despite my lack of Star Wars knowledge, I love space and anything space related. So
fingers crossed it's good.
Oh my
God. I think for me, what I'm excited for from E3 is to see what Xbox is going to be bringing to the table now that Sony's not there. So they're going to be bringing their A game, I think, and maybe even talking about their new console.
Yeah, but that's boring. I want some interesting IPs. Like, they've just given us a new console, which has got the Xbox One X. And so now they're going to do digital versions of their consoles, which is cool because I guess the industry is going that way. You know, most games are just downloads.
I don't want it to be. I am kind of curious to see where Xbox is going to go with this conference because, as boring as talking about a new system can be, with all the new companies they have acquired, they may show us a bunch of new IPs along with this to get us all hyped up for their next generation. And I'm really curious to see what will be coming from this, because they've been trying to please the fans for so long with just doing all the stuff they have without releasing a lot of new content exclusive to the Xbox. So I can only imagine what they're going to be doing this time around, being like, look, we actually do have new games.
You know what I was thinking, what I just thought of now, and I'm like, because I'm sitting there thinking, why isn't Sony going to be at E3? Excuse me. Sony has this big hoopla in December, so maybe they're just not wanting to spoil maybe they're going to be talking about the console in December, they usually.
Well, I think they may even be doing kind of like what Nintendo does with the Nintendo Direct, and they're doing that PlayStation, what the hell was it called? But it was their 20-minute video they just had last month where it showed a bunch of VR games. And they may just go that route and just say, screw it, we don't need E3 anymore. We can just, share it online every couple of months and keep people updated. And they will have, they've skipped out on PSX this year, and I believe 2 years before that. So, I'm thinking maybe this year they will come back, because they also really don't have much new to show us, because all they have left is Ghost of Tsushima, Days Gone, which is coming out this month, Death Stranding, and Last of Us 2. That's all they're got left.
That we know
and they probably aren't ready. Yeah, we know of. And they're probably not ready to show us anything.
And all of those games won't be out this year. It'll be 2 of those, maybe.
Yeah, I'm hoping for Ghost of Tsushima this year, because I'm still waiting on a game to get hyped for, and I have not found my game to get hyped for yet for this year.
I know my game that I'm hyped for this year. And, okay, wait. Hold on. It's not the one you think either. But it has no release date yet. But it should be coming out this year. Dying Light 2.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about Dying Light 2.
I am so excited for Dying Light 2. Do you see a trend in the games I play? I am so excited for Dying Light 2 that I can't even stand it. And I am just waiting. I'm hoping that we get a release date soon.
The first game has
Probably
one of
E3.
my... Yeah, probably E3. The first game has one of my all-time favorite moments in gaming. There's this secret where you go on the rooftop and you can travel down one of the pipes, and there's suddenly an 8-bit section where you become like Super Mario, and you're jumping up and down, and you do this maze, and then you go back up. Yep, it's on one of the rooftops. I've never come across anything like it before, going from that environment to a Super Mario. Boop, boop. It even has the sound effect. It's got bloop, bloop, bloop.
In what part of the city?
I'm sure it'll be on YouTube. Just look it up. It's there. Yeah, it's crazy.
Oh my
so much fun.
God, I know what I'm going to be doing this weekend.
Yeah, gotta find that. Yeah. So yeah.
Oh. we're gonna have to do a Dying Light stream together where we like, you know how they have the multiplayer thing where like a hunter invasion and stuff like that. That'll be fun. You guys are like, ugh.
I have, and here I am on the outskirts going, I've never played Dying Light.
Well, there's time.
God.
Yeah, I'll say the funny thing is, when I got my PlayStation 4, it came with The Last of Us Remastered, and then I picked up Dying Light, and I was like, all right, cool. And then I realized, I'm like, I just got Last of Us. I don't want another zombie game, so I took back Dying Light, and I think that's when I picked up Diablo 3.
Yeah, good choice. Nice game. Yeah.
How dare you? Dying Light, okay. Oh, here it goes. Oh, she's triggered. Okay. Dying Light has one of the coolest soundtracks I have ever heard. It's not like, because, you know, like some soundtracks are like super epic and they're, you know, this one is so strange and interesting. Okay, you want to hear how big of a nerd I am? But just wait for it. Sometimes, I'm most embarrassed to say this. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. When the sun starts going down and I'm driving, I'll turn it on and I'll be like, gotta get where I'm going before nightfall. And it just like makes life a little bit more interesting. Adding a little bit of a soundtrack to it. It's just so fun. It's just so fun. Scott?
Yeah, Scott.
You're getting
I'll eventually pick it up if I ever see it on sale somewhere. Like
You're
to try it out because, you know. Well, I guess at least I'm grounded with all my fun toys, so that's good.
No PlayStation for a week.
That's fine. I got about 4,000 movies. I'm good.
One day we're gonna see your collection.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm staring at it all right now. It's right where I'm recording right now.
Wait, you notice where he's like this. I'm looking at it right now, and it's like wall to wall.
Well, and then I also have over there.
Dude. All right.
Got a little bit of an obsession.
A little bit. Okay, so aside from Star Wars, we have some more.
Oh wow, we went on a serious tangent there, didn't we?
Yeah, we totally did. And you got me all worked up about Dying Light. Mortal Kombat just released 2 more characters out of the 5 slots. So that's only 3 slots left, right? Or 2 slots?
Well, Devora was already kind of teased before, so I think she was already on that list.
Oh, okay.
But we didn't really see anything of her. But yeah, they revealed Katana and Devora, and they gave us like gameplay footage of both of them with one of their fatalities each. And yep, Katana looks badass, and like her intro looked awesome because she had like the outer world like slaves carrying her on a throne into the battle.
That's
and
how
they set her down.
Transported everywhere.
And yeah, she's in one of the outfits, she's unmasked. She's not like hiding her face like she usually does. But yep, she's got her blades, super quick. The combat looked really awesome for her, and her fatality kind of reminded me of, I think, one of the fatalities from Mortal Kombat 3. where it kind of like slices the person down by the torso and then slices their head off after that.
Nice.
And while the fan is spinning, the head's still sitting on top, and she whips out a dagger and throws a dagger at the head and knocks the head off the fan.
Oh. Did you say hot?
But
wow. All right.
Am I wrong?
Well, the next one though, Devora, her like they didn't show much. Like they showed a little bit of combat with her, and she's playing more like a spider this time around. So like she's actually like webbing people up, and they're kind of being wrapped up in the web cocoon and like getting beat up on. Oh, well, yeah, I think it's kind of hot. The extra appendages and all that.
Wow.
I think we found something new about Scott, you guys.
Yeah. What's the
what
safe
can I
word?
say? I'm a bit of a freak. The safe word is, please give me more.
That's
But anyways, they showed her fatality, and it is absolutely disgusting and awesome because she grabs a hold of the victim with her extra legs behind her and then pukes into the person's mouth and then throws them to the ground.
What?
And while they're on the ground, they start twitching, and then all of a sudden you see spider legs rip out of them, and a spider grows from the inside of them and rips them apart.
No, I can't be watching that. Oh, what?
Oh, it's disgusting and made me giggle just with so much glee.
I just had a very traumatic experience with a spider, so I won't be watching that one.
Was that the one that dropped on your head?
No, this is a different one. Yeah, right after we recorded the podcast, I went and opened the front door and a spider almost dropped on my head. No, this one was, I was sitting and going through, because it's now, I live in the Midwest, and it's Spider Town Central now. And
yep.
I mean, all of a sudden they're everywhere. And I had brought up some spring and summer clothes from the basement, and I put him in a basket, and I had shaken him out, apparently not well enough. And I put it on my lap, and I'm like digging through looking for something. And I have this like low cut shirt on, and because it was like 80 degrees, and then it was 80 one day and then 30 the next, go figure. Hello.
Yep.
Midwest.
That's how it is for us in Michigan.
Yep. And I look down, and there's a spider crawling out of the nest. I scream. I throw the clothes. The basket goes everywhere. The spider goes flying. And it was just...
Never find the spider.
No, we did. We did, and we killed the hell out of it. Sent it right back to the underworld where it belongs.
Oh, poor little guy.
No. Spiders are the reincarnations of serial killers.
Spiders are awesome. I actually, we have a rule in my house. We came to an agreement with the spiders and I. If they stay on the walls or the ceiling, they're allowed to live. But if they get on the floor or crawl on me, I'm sorry. You have to go either outside or die.
I have a rule like that. Is if you are outside and I am in your space, I will not touch you. Even if you crawl on me, I am in your habitat. You come in my house, there is a price on your head, and I will kill you and your whole family. You come into my home, then it's war.
I guess it's because the reason I don't mind them in my house is because they're the better of two evils that live in this place, and they keep the disgusting what I call spider-pedes, which they're basically house centipedes with extremely long legs.
Yeah, no, I have those
eat
too.
those.
The centipede, no, see, you know what? Centipedes don't bite. So the centipedes eat the spiders, and so I'll see those little bastards running around, and they'll scare the hell out of me, but I'll leave them alone because they'll get rid of all the spiders for me.
No, the spiders around here have actually been killing them for me, and I hate those little bastards. I try to squish them whenever I see them.
Yeah, we got brown recluse here, so I'm not playing that game.
Okay, yeah. I mean, we got brown recluses as well, just not as abundant. We have them mainly just hiding in the wet wood and stuff like that.
No, this is like they're in your house, just chilling. So
yeah, I'm good with that. They would okay. I can understand your situation then.
The video games, you guys.
Right? Tangents aplenty today, everyone.
This podcast is sponsored by spiders.
Yeah.
Yeah, so wasn't there another one before right after we wrapped up recording last week, there was another one, wasn't there?
For Mortal Kombat?
Yeah, or am I wrong?
That was Katana that came out like right after.
Okay.
Because they teased her in like a little TV spot for their little trailer, and like that was all you seen was her come on screen, and then like a couple days later they gave us like her gameplay reveal. Okay,
I understand that then. Okay, well that's pretty much all we have for Mortal Kombat, just because they keep giving us little nuggets of information. But one of the big things that people were going on about this week is now that PSN IDs can be changed.
After all this time.
So, anyone gonna be changing their IDs?
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of people are like me, where you do like a nickname or something, or a silly when you originally opened and so you get stuck with this name.
Yes.
You've been wanting to change it, but it turns out now that you can do it once for free. You can even go back to your old ID if you don't like your new name, but after that, costs money, like Xbox does. But it's also causing some game issues.
No.
Yeah, that's what you were saying.
This was an issue when there was like the trial too. I figured that after all this time they would have kind of worked out the bugs in that, because it was several months ago when it was causing whole games to delete your game file, not the application itself, but just like all of your played information.
Yeah.
So
even inside gaming, they did like a whole big section on PlayStation name changes could break your game. So they do embellish some of their news stories, as we know. But yeah, I think it's partly accurate that some of the games you can't play, and if you do, you will no longer be able to play under that name. You might lose your saves and not be able to. And that could be an issue if you've been working on a game, if you're a dedicated gamer to one particular franchise and you've played, thousands of hours. I know some people have, and then you lose it. That could really upset you. So,
right.
It's Sony, you think they could sort that out? That's a fairly big thing that people have been waiting for.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like that seems to be Sony's misstep every time, is like with their online features and their software. They tend to not do it properly, but I mean, we're spoiled with how Xbox does everything, and Xbox is Microsoft, who is very talented in doing stuff like that. So, I mean, PlayStation's just kind of getting their feet wet with the stuff, but from what I hear, when you change your ID, any games before 2018 it'll show up as your old PlayStation ID, but anything after 2018 has the code implemented in it so that it'll allow your new name change. But then, like you said, there's also those issues with some of the older games even that it may screw something up.
Yeah.
So is it worth it?
I'm not sure it is.
Is it worth changing your name from Butt Blaster 3000 to some, now that you're in your 40s?
I don't know, but I might take that name now.
Butt Blaster? You find one of my favorite things to do when playing games like Battlefield is to look through my squad and see what the names are.
They've named themselves, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm just like, this is more entertaining than the game sometimes. And the names that people come up with, I'm just like,
Yeah, especially like some names, you're just like, how did that get past Sony?
Because they use numbers the wrong way.
Well, yeah.
That's when you add all the X's and stuff to make it to make it passable.
Yeah, because mine's just like a dorky name that I used from when I was playing World of Warcraft, so I just kind of kept that name, and it's just kind of like a fantasy elf style name, so I was just like, I'll keep that.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Except for the 420 at the end.
You're a high elf.
I was, yeah, literally back then.
Yeah. Let's see. I have to, because I have mine and then my husband has his. I piggyback normally because the PlayStation Plus is on his. So I'm walking through with his nickname through in high school, and I'm just like, at least it hides kind of when you're playing certain games. If you're, especially multiplayer games, if you have headphones or stuff on and you're female, you'll get distracted from the game because people will be kind of like, so
messaging you, harassing you.
Yeah, exactly. So if I have this dude ID, then people don't really know, but I have one for myself that is pretty funny.
Yeah, I like
I like it, and I don't think I'll be changing that one anytime soon, but yeah, I wish I could change the one I piggyback off of because it's stupid, and I know you can hear me.
Well, you should totally change it on him just to be funny.
Oh my god, yeah, and just be like, change it to like My Little Brony. 2019.
Yeah.
What is this?
But if there is anybody that is interested in wanting to change their ID, over at the PlayStation blog, they actually put up an FAQ that looks like it's pretty simple and straightforward on how to do it.
Nice.
So I recommend at least going there and checking it out because, yeah, it's straight up an FAQ, like step by step, exactly what you want to do.
It's tempting, but it's like, is it worth it?
Right. For me, it's not. I already lost everything when it came to Xbox because my email like disappeared into nothingness and was never able to retrieve my gamer tag from there. So I'm not chancing losing anything with my PlayStation.
Oh no.
Yeah.
That's not fun. Well, this was a really quiet week in regards to news. There's not a whole lot. There's some, I think towards the end of April when we actually have a couple. Oh, no, there's one thing I want to talk about. Hold on, you guys. I didn't put it on the sheet. So gameplay of World War Z has been coming out on YouTube. And granted, it's still like early access, beta type of gameplay and things like that. Have you guys watched it?
I've seen some of it.
I did not.
It looks straight up like a Left 4 Dead ripoff. I'm talking like,
yeah, it's 100% Left 4 Dead. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks just like, I mean, with bigger zombie hordes and just different kind of special mutants. And I mean, even them calling out, like, there's no snarky interaction between them that I've been seeing, like, in Left 4 Dead 2 or Left 4 Dead, or the other one of them for that matter. But I was sitting there watching it because I've been kind of excited to see what kind of a game it is. And I was sitting here going, this is just Left 4 Dead. It's ridiculous. Four characters. You go through small sections where you go from one place to this place. When you get to the next place, you have ammo caches, you have new guns, med kits, things like that. You have to call an elevator and, keep yourself holed up against the horde that comes. The only thing is now you get to kind of set up sometimes fortified areas, but it's just bananas. I'm just like, how do they get away with that? Like, it's a little crazy how similar it is. Scott, you're just looking like, huh? You're gonna have to go watch.
I think people will do comparison videos. Actually, they'll put up footage of Left 4 Dead 1 and 2, and then do the comparisons, show you just go through. There must be laws against it as well. It's not that it's Left 4 Dead is amazing. I'd rather have Left 4 Dead 3.
Love the game.
Than World War Z, because I trust Left 4 Dead. I don't know what World War Z.
Well, I was going to say that's done by Valve, and Valve is known for quality games.
Yeah, and like,
who is World War Z doing? Who's making that?
Good question. I knew. Hold on a second. I'm looking it up, you guys. Let's see. If I knew how to spell, that'd be great.
I'll just carry on talking while you find that. So the sequel to the film has been on and off for ages. Brad Pitt was signed on. Brad Pitt wasn't signed on.
I think it's dead.
Unfortunately, and I'm a big fan of the film. I know some people don't like it, but I love it. I thought it was brilliant. Really.
Yeah, I did not like it.
Yeah, you see, yeah.
Okay, so it looks like it's from Saber Interactive, and wait, guess who the publisher is? One of the publishers.
EA.
Focus Home Interactive.
Oh, folks.
Oh.
That's funny.
Once again, their name gets brought up.
Yeah, so it's Focus Home Interactive and Mad Dog Games. Focus Home Interactive, while I do love some of their games, they just kind of publish just about anything. Okay, the graphics look like a PS3 game.
Yeah.
Oh.
But isn't that because that was originally coming out on the mobile, and now they've created a port for it to be on consoles?
If that's the case.
Oh, that could be.
If that's the case, I don't know.
Yeah.
Take the time.
Right.
Take a little bit of time. No one's like grinding their teeth saying, "Where's my World War Z game?" Take the time to release a game that's like you. Remember the Alien game? What is it called? Invasion. The Alien game that was, huh?
Oh, the original with the Marines.
No. The one that came out just last year. Me and Matt played it.
Oh, Earthfall.
Earthfall. There it is.
Yeah.
Invasion.
Not Alien. I thought you were talking about actual Alien. Yeah, that wasn't great.
Earthfall was buggy as hell. It was like Left 4 Dead with aliens. It was an empty game.
I reviewed that.
Yeah.
And I got dropped by the small publisher that was doing it in the UK because I didn't review.
Are you serious?
Yep.
I mean, it was.
Wow.
It was not a great game. It had so much potential.
Yeah.
But they rushed it. It was like let's get it out instead of just taking the time and being like, no, let's.
So many issues. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I'm sitting here looking at World War Z, and I'm just like, if you're going to make a game that is that close to a beloved franchise, make it better. Make the graphics better. Make the dialogue better. Make it.
If you're going to do mobile, then do mobile. But if they've taken the port and now trying to do that for console, then that's weird. But if that's not the case, then they're making a game that looks like old generation, which is not great either. So, yeah, I don't really have my hopes high for this one.
I'll be playing it.
Yeah.
Zombies. Yeah.
It's zombies. I'll be playing it. Like, did it look fun? It does look fun. Like it looks fun, like you don't have to think about it. Like it looks fun. There's like a ton of hordes of, but we have another game coming out, Days Gone, that has large hordes of zombies too. So it's like you're coming out at basically the same time.
Yeah. Which one are you going to pick up? If you have to spend your cash, are you going for World War Z or Days Gone? I know which one I choose.
One is published by Sony. One is published by Focus Home Interactive. I do love Focus Home Interactive games. Some of them. Some of them.
Yeah. And me not being a zombie fan, if I had to choose between the two, I'm going Days Gone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Plus, you have a big name actor who's there's a lot of voice acting. There's a lot of cinematic scenes.
Story.
Things like that. We will see. I'm looking for it because I didn't have too high of hopes after the gameplay trailer last summer. So I'm excited. We will see. We will see how it stacks up because games these days get released half-ass broken and they go through a patch and then it's like, oh, now the game's fixed. It's just like
right. Well, most of those are also like got some type of multiplayer aspect to them too.
Yeah, that's true.
Like a lot of the single player games come out and they're for the most part polished and like for the most part. I mean, we do have the ones that have had their issues, but Looking at you, Skyrim.
Anything by Bethesda. I was just about to say, like, anything by Bethesda. Yeah, my very first introduction to Bethesda games, because I came in like late in the Fallout game, but my very first introduction to Bethesda was The Evil Within, and I literally had to buy a new console to get it to work.
Wow.
Yeah, it was excruciating. So, yeah. Thanks, Bethesda.
Here's looking at you, Bethesda.
Yeah, seriously. All right. Well, I mean, that's pretty much all of the news that we have.
Cool.
It's kind of a slow week. Just kind of a slow week. But we are playing games. What are you playing, Ruben?
Yeah, so for me, from originally playing Seriko and wanting to snap the disc and throw it out the window, I'm now at the end. How far are we? My son's looking at me. Sekiro. I mean, pronouncing it wrong, so I've been corrected for one.
Yeah.
Sekiro. And we're on the last boss, but he's too hard to beat, so we're just leveling up. I found actually a really good way to play this. My son and I have different mechanics of how we play games. So I can beat a boss that he can't, and he can beat a boss that I can't. So we're handing the controller to each other. So that's worked out quite nicely. But I have to say, if you're stuck on Sekiro, keep going, because there's definitely it's not like a learning curve. It's more like the game teaches you. The more you die, the more you learn, and then you eventually see more of the map, and it's just beautiful because you get to see what the game designers wanted to show you with what they were going to do. Because it's Dark Souls, but it's removed. You know, it's like Ninja Dark Souls with Bloodborne and like Ninja Gaiden. There's like all that mashed into one, and super fun. So
it looks like you have a background invader.
Oh, jeez. Sorry. Brilliant. Thanks, bud. All right, so he's feeding some. Right. And yeah, Xbox have been doing their game sale, so I recently picked up Jump Force and Soul Calibur. New one.
Nice.
Obviously want to play Soul Calibur because there he goes. Because my friend Doug Cockle, the voice of the Witcher, Geralt of Rivia. So I've been dying to get my hands on that. But actually, the one I'm really enjoying is Jump Force. I don't know if you guys know about that one. So
I remember seeing the trailer at E3 last year.
Yeah, so it's basically like if you're an anime fan, all your favorite characters, like from Shonen. Naruto, Luffy, One Piece.
We're gamers.
Yeah, but you can take all your characters. Yeah. Well done. All your favorite character, kind of anime characters, and put them together from Dragon Ball Z is kind of the basis of the game. One of the main characters, Frieza, is the bad guy, and he's doing what he does and destroying everything. But he's created some sort of like wormhole thing, so you can go to multiple dimensions. So it gets bad guys from all dimensions and good guys from all dimensions, and you get to be your kind of hero characters. If you're an anime fan, you're totally going to geek out. But you have to get past the first hour and a half tutorial, basically, because there's this constant, this is what you got to go to. Go visit this place, and they talk to you about some nonsense, and your brain kind of phases out. And then you wait for a loading screen, and you go to another bit. So there's a lot of loading screens, there's a lot of like talking until you actually get to play the game. But once you get to play, it looks pretty, and you're just going to geek out. So that's my gaming experience this week on Ruben's Gaming Experience.
Nice.
Yay.
Yeah.
Because I've heard some good things about that one.
Yeah.
And I'm not even an anime fan, but it looked like it'd be fun.
It's fun. Like, you must have heard of some of them. And Dragon Ball Z, it's a household stable name now, so you get to be those characters or kick their butts, which is fun.
Right. And have you got a chance to play much of Soul Calibur?
Yeah, I dabbled in it, dabbling at Geralt. It was, first choice. All right, give me that sword. Great to hear his voice.
That would be me.
Yeah, he did his voice work for it, which is fantastic.
Nice.
So just hear him. One of the things he says is, "I hate portals," because that's the way he gets brought in there.
Oh, yep.
Because he does hate portals, and so that's fan service, and his movements are recognizable to the game, although it plays differently because it's a Soul Calibur game. But
that's awesome.
They're still kept to the mechanics of who Geralt is. I know there's a lots of other characters that are from different universes, something like Yoda as well. So I'm gonna give a go at that.
Oh, they brought back Yoda?
I think so. I think he's one of the extra characters because I know they had him in like the other games, or at least one.
Oh, people were so pissed when he was in part 4 because he was so low to the ground that all your high attacks couldn't do a damn thing to him.
Yeah.
And you're basically almost unstoppable as him.
Yeah, badass. As it should be.
Right.
What about you guys?
Yeah, what do you think?
I really haven't played too much because the last couple of weeks for college, but I played probably about an hour or so of just some random combat on Mortal Kombat 10.
Nice.
Just playing around with a lot of the DLC characters because when those came out, I had kind of like stopped playing, though I would play them at my friend's house. So I had to be in the horror movie guy I am. I had to play as the Xenomorph, Predator, Leatherface, and Jason.
Nice.
And yeah, the fan service they give you those, it's great. Though at the same time, I'm kind of laughing when I'm seeing Jason Voorhees doing martial arts style moves because that just doesn't work. And he's slow as molasses, which is exactly how he should be as well. But yeah, just seeing him doing like high kicks and like some of the moves that he does, it's just kind of funny.
That's awesome.
But yeah, you've heard me gush about Mortal Kombat 10. It's just fun. It's over the top. Great combat. But something new that I played probably about 6, maybe 7 hours of it yesterday, and that was Path to Exile, which came out for free on the PlayStation. And I believe, I could be wrong, but I believe this game came out for the PC back in like 2014, 2015, and just kind of got released free to play on PlayStation and I believe Xbox. But it is a Diablo clone for sure, except for tons, and I mean tons of customization to where if you chose a barbarian style character and I chose that character, when we level up, you could go down a completely different path on leveling up that your character would play in a completely different style than the other character.
Interesting.
Like, yeah, it's like, because when I go to the level up screen, it kind of has that orb grid, kind of like Final Fantasy X does.
Yeah.
Where it's like, you move the orbs and spend them. It's kind of got that style grid, except for where in Final Fantasy X, you would, run into other characters' skill trees and kind of take skills from them. This is a skill tree just for that character. And I was kind of looking at it and going, wow, this is pretty big. And then I noticed there was a zoom button, and I'm going, zoom? So I hit it, and it zooms out, and there's probably 1,000, 2,000, maybe even 3,000 different orb spots that you can place these in.
Whoa.
It is just like this massive, ridiculous size tree, and I'm just going, holy shit, I don't know if I'll be playing that much. but it's a lot like Diablo and the way it plays out, the combat and all that. I played for by myself for about 3 hours as a witch, which summons. You can summon the undead and things like that to help fight by your side. So it's kind of like a necromancer, which is really cool.
Nice.
And then my friend and I got online a little bit later, and we played co-op together, and we blew through probably a good 4 or 5 chapters. Got to Act 2, and we're all level 15 now. We started from the very beginning, so we just played for hours on end last night, just kind of slaughtering things. And yeah, the game is just a ton of fun. There's not enough tutorials to explain certain things in the game. that they just kind of leave that to your own device to figure out. And, that's fine. I'll figure that, because I don't know certain aspects of the game yet, so I'll figure those out as time goes on, I'm sure. But one thing that I just kind of shook my head at, but at the same time was not surprised being a free game, there is microtransactions. But I didn't look into what exactly those microtransactions were. I just kind of ignored them like I always do and just played the game the way it is.
Yeah.
But though it did get annoying that there was when I'm playing co-op, I'd get a random advertisement pop up on the bottom of my screen saying, sale now for a Song of Ice and Fire style DLC weapons and stuff like that. And I'm like, why would you put that in my game when I'm playing? Like that was annoying.
Yeah.
But that was only once that popped up in the 4-hour play span that I was doing the co-op part, so it wasn't like it was obtrusive.
Yeah, I played a similar game, the Dungeons and Dragons kind of progression rate. And there's a lot of microtransactions in that, but you never had to buy them. I didn't buy one, and I progressed to like level 50. Do you think that's the same for Path of Exile? Can you play the game solidly without having to buy anything?
Yeah, from what it looks like, yes, because it looks like a lot of the microtransaction stuff might just be more of like items of convenience, like more inventory space. I know is one thing that you can purchase, and if you're not wanting to go back to town to sell your items, sure, why not? But I could care less. I'll just go if I run out of space, I'll just go and drop it all off and come back. No big deal. But yeah, I don't see there being anything to hinder you from getting further on in the game, like if you had to buy it. But yeah, definite recommend for me so far. I'm probably going to be diving in more of it this week and hopefully get more of a grasp on it.
Nice.
But that's all I've been playing. How about you, Devin? Or Dee?
You're okay.
Did it again.
Scott's like, oh no, I've been calling. It's just that's my name. Hey guys. It's either one's fine, Scott. You're fine.
Okay.
I've been so busy lately with trying to catch up with articles and things like that I haven't been playing too much. Although I have been. There are some things I'm reviewing that are secret things.
Embargoes.
So yeah, there's some things that I'm working on that's just for work. But for the most part, I've started the Charm series from the first season. I'm rewatching it.
It's like 8 seasons or something, isn't it?
Yeah, there's 8 seasons, and so I'm just like sitting. My allergies are driving me crazy. I'm just sitting here working, and I have Charm going, and my husband's just like, "Oh, can we put on something else?" And I'm just like, "Oh, fine." But I also I want to play Uncharted 4 again so bad. And it's just for some reason I am on this like Uncharted kick. I went and I played Uncharted 4. That was the first Uncharted game I played, and then I was hooked. Yeah, okay. I was absolutely hooked. So then I went back and got the Nathan Drake collection.
Nice. And
played through each one of those in order, and then played Uncharted 4 again, and then cried.
Did you play The Lost Expeditions?
Huh?
Did you play The Lost Expedition?
No, I did not, and I didn't play. What's the other one with the 2 ladies?
The Lost Expedition?
No. There's
that's what the hell? I actually have the physical copy. I'm trying to look at it from my.
Because Naughty Dog, I don't think did The Last Expedition. Somebody else did that.
All right.
And but the Naughty Dog did Lost Legacy.
There it is. Yep.
That's what I'm thinking of with the 2 ladies.
Yes. But then there's also another one, an expedition one, that was made by a different company. That was like a little side game or something. And I haven't done that one, but I haven't played Lost Legacy yet. Although I do want to. I just haven't got my hands on it yet.
The opening to that game rivals Uncharted 4's opening.
Oh yeah.
Fantastic.
Ooh, I want to watch. I just don't like the characters so much. I didn't like them very much in the other games, just because I'm.
But putting them together actually makes them kind of fun because they work off of each other in such a great way. Like it's hilarious, some of the interactions they have, and
I mean, I'll play
I'm
it.
about halfway through that game.
I'll play it. I really liked it. I think I was about to get it, but I heard it was like an 8 to 10 hour game, which is great.
Hmm.
But then I was also had in my hand Assassin's Creed Origins, and that was like a 100-hour game, and I'm just like,
Right. What's more valuable to me right now?
right. And so I really wanted to play Pyramids.
Mm.
So I got Assassin's Creed Origins, which I haven't finished it, but I absolutely love that game. And then
Me
you
too.
guys sent me Odyssey, which was awesome, and I absolutely loved that game. Thank you guys for it. And so it was worth it to get Origins. So I still just haven't gotten my hands on Lost Legacy, but I really, really want to. And then my son keeps playing. Do you remember? My eye is itching. I'm sorry, guys. When Dead Island Riptide released again for the PS4 as a bundle, it came with a retro game, Dead Island Retro. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Oh, it's so fun. It's just like a side scroller, like kill the enemies, like you don't run or like your character is just continuously running, and you just have to like get out of the way of the obstacles and the kill the zombies and try to get through the levels. And my son's been obsessed with that one. It's so fun. And so now it's just like trying to get through each level. So that was on a slow day. We'll put that on and have some bonding time.
Nice.
Yeah, but it's just so much work. Not enough hours in the day for gaming, but
sadly, no.
That's why you just gotta sacrifice sleep, sacrifice work, and just turn into a vegetable and play video games.
I already sacrifice sleep to work. So I don't think I have any extra to spare.
Unfortunately, I'm sacrificing my sleep for college work and not video games right now.
Adulting is hard.
Right? I'm done with this. I'm going to go back to being a teenager. Screw this.
Yeah, right? I'll be the oldest feeling teenager in the world. Okay. Right. So the topic of the day that I really wanted you guys to talk to me about is the concept of cheat codes in video games. Now, there was just released on, you can get this on Xbox, the Xbox store, you can get this on the PlayStation store. For $4.99 in Resident Evil 2, you can buy all of the unlimited guns, you can buy all of the unlockable characters. Basically, every cheat code just automatically unlocks, and you get everything that you would have picked out, you would have gotten if you beat it in S or S plus, things like that. So it's like immediate gratification, no working for it, for a small fee. What do you guys think of that?
Well, I mean, back in the day, you know, we got like the Game Sharks and stuff like that to help us get our codes, and it seems like nowadays, unless you're a Grand Theft Auto game, most of your cheat codes are pretty much DLC, which, you know, I'm fine with because I very rarely use cheats anyways. I used to use them all the time in Grand Theft Auto back in the day, like because I would just want to run around and have all the weapons.
Or in Red Dead Redemption 2 for unlimited horse stamina.
See, I never used it in Red Dead 2. Never used any of the cheats in that game.
The best.
Yeah, I enjoy just like even just kind of like the slow trot throughout because I just love just that world. Like, you know me, I'm obsessed with that game.
I'm impatient
but,
to get from point A to point B.
Yeah, I was all about like, oh, I could fast travel there. Screw that. I'm going to take my nice slow time and just kind of see what the world gives me. Exactly. But I actually don't mind that they decided to throw this out there for $4.99 because I know there are some people that are too intimidated by its difficulty, like by Resident Evil 2's difficulty, that this would actually probably encourage them to, you know, actually play the game. So I don't mind that they did this because, hell, down the road after I play through it on my own, I may buy this just to play around because I don't think I'm ever going to unlock Tofu. I don't have the patience for replaying that stuff to get Tofu and whatever his name was.
Well, Tofu and Hunk are already like all you have to do is just get through the game, and then Tofu and Hunk are there. But then there's other unlockable Tofus. There's Flan.
Oh, there's multiple.
There's multiple. So this you could play as Flan. And I think there's like different colors of tofu. Like it's just all different like custardy things.
We're still talking about Resident Evil. Oh my gosh. We're still talking about Resident Evil. What just happened?
Sorry about that.
That cat is looking at me and I feel uncomfortable. No, she's pretty. But I remember being like 12 years old and doing the cheat in Twisted Metal 2 for Minion.
Yep.
I still have it written down somewhere. Like I have it on the paper. So cheats have been just a part of video games, but some people are like really just like, no. But like, okay, I will say, did I spend $4.99 to go and get all of those cheats that I could have unlocked myself? Yes. I did. But I've also played through the game like twice. So I've went through and played the game and done all that. Do I still want to be it on like S and S Plus and hardcore? Yeah, of course I can. But do I also want to do it with an unlimited minigun? I also want to do that, yes.
Right.
So
I have no problem with this at all.
I'm okay with it. But then you have games like Red Dead Redemption 2 where they encourage you to get the newspapers, pick up the little extra codes and everything like that. But as soon as you turn one of them on, then you're not able to save anything.
Yeah, and that's always been a Rockstar thing too. Like even through all the Grand Theft Auto games, you were never able to save with your cheats on.
Which I think is stupid. Like, I understand not putting on cheats. Like, if you're playing a multiplayer game and you have cheats on or you're doing, something like that and you're dicking around with other people's, gameplay, that's a problem. That's cheating in the no. However, if you're playing a single-player campaign and you're on your own and you want your horse to be able to fucking run without falling over, you should be allowed to and save your game. I'm fired up. It just makes me that was a 4 hours of gameplay that I lost because we lost when we had on. It wasn't even like an important cheat. It was just like I get to wear this cool outfit, and 4 hours of gameplay was lost because I wanted to wear the cool clothes.
Yeah, like the clothing cheat, like I don't the cosmetic stuff, that shouldn't stop you from saving.
Right?
Like everything else I can kind of still, say, okay, you're just playing around to play around.
Well, the thing is like I get not being able to get the trophies or the achievements or anything like that. Like
Right,
like that's fine. Don't give me the achievements for getting something done if I have a cheat on, but not being able to save my game. If I want to play a cheaty-filled game where I'm wearing a friggin' bear on my head and, doing whatever, let me save. Let me have that game experience because it's just like, I pay $60 for this game. I want to be able to play my game wearing a bear on my head and be fine with that.
Yeah, I guess the way they should do it is make it so you have to create a separate save that is with all your cheats on, and then like leave your regular save alone. Maybe that's how they could do it, but I don't know why they don't.
To be jerks.
Yeah, because that's been Rockstar ever since I can remember.
What, Ruben?
Oh, was that Ruben?
I'd say I guess it depends on the franchise, because if you go to Elder Scrolls, even with the add-ons you can download to that, you can do some crazy stuff, but you can't like you get achievements for that. You can ride dragons, you can change the color palette, you can make it all look different. Doom, you could do God mode. I don't know if you guys ever did that back in the original Doom.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, just stick on God mode and decimate everything, because there was that one level that you just couldn't, you couldn't get past that demon boss and his hordes. So you're like, now I'm going to kill you. God mode enabled, and off you go. Yeah, absolutely. But then there are other games that I think do cheats well. So Halo, you can go collect the skulls, and then in the menu you can either it makes the game harder for you, or you can jump higher. And they never let you, they never took away your achievements when you had the skulls on. It was like a part of the game, and the skulls were really hard to find. So even that was like,
yes, they were,
made you look around the map. You found the skull, then you went to your mission. You put that on, change the difficulty case. Now you got extra grenades, or every time you shoot a grunt in the head, there's a party thing that goes.
Yep.
There are ways you can do cheats to make it part of the game. It'd be great if more developers did it that way, because sometimes a game is too hard. There's certain people that are just not Dark Souls players, but the world is so vibrant and colorful that surely as a developer and a creator, you would want them to see your content. So give them a cheat that allows them to kind of, explore this world, maybe give them a bit of a buff so they can walk around seeing those monsters that they've created, and then go, oh, I actually really want to get to that level where I'm good enough to reach that.
Yeah, see, if they actually did something like that, I would play those games.
Exactly, yeah.
Go
ahead, Scott.
I was like, because I just don't have the patience from Software and their like extreme difficulty. I haven't played anything from them since Armored Core series.
Like, if I don't know, people are putting so much shame on this whole buy these extras for $4.99, and people are like, well, you don't have to work for it. It's like, okay, I played through the game. Technically, I guess it's 4 times. I played through 4 campaigns: Leon A, Claire B, Claire A, Leon B, and I did my part. But I also, it's just like, when you have a stack of games that you need to review or get through, I want to be able to experience the game as other people are experiencing it. I want to see the things that other people are experiencing. And some people just don't have the time to sit and grind for S and S plus,
Exactly.
And to do that, I mean, you have to basically play the campaign 8 times, because I believe so. Now, I might be wrong, just because I know that there's something unlockable for Claire, there's something unlockable for Leon, and I'm not sure if it's the difference between Claire A and Claire B. So it's either 4 or 8 times. So it's 4 times, it's 2 times for, at least 2 times for S, and then another 2 times for S plus to unlock 2 more things, and then going through and beating 4th Survivor. You have to beat Tofu. Tofu is friggin' impossible, because you have a stack. How, I mean, it's like you have it's just ridiculous. So you have to beat that to unlock the next Tofu, and then the next Tofu. And then when it comes to Ghost Survivors, you have to be all, was it 3 or 4? 3 campaigns to unlock a secret campaign.
Who's got that time? That's, yeah.
Right? And so it's just like, I don't. It's not that I don't love the games. You guys know how much I love the Resident Evil franchise.
Yeah.
And I just don't have, the hours to put in to unlock those things. So for $4.99, I achieved all of it in a matter of 30 seconds, which was, for someone like me, awesome.
Well, that appeals to me. I haven't had the time to play it, and now that I know that is there, but like, yeah, I want to experience everything the game has to offer. So give it to me all in one package. I'll pay a little bit extra, and then now I'll go play your game. Not because it's easier, but nobody has 100 hours, not generally, to play one game. And there's so much coming out all the time. You want to play all these titles, so why not?
And especially with us who review games, we gotta like constantly try to keep up on the newest thing, so we don't like I think there's like 7 games in my collection up there that were all from last year that I have not even got to, because I had to focus on some other game to write a review on, or just kind of keep up with the story. Like, I haven't even touched Assassin's Creed Odyssey yet, and I know that's a massive game.
So good. And it's so good.
I know, and it's on my list to play.
I haven't even gotten to finish it, which I really, really want to, but it's just like Assassin's Creed came out, and then just what else came out? I mean, it was just insane how much.
Assassin's Creed 3 Remastered. That is one.
Yes, I want to play that.
Get my hands on. Yeah.
Got
no time.
Yeah, there's so many games, so it's like you have to focus on the games that you need to play for work versus the games that you really want to play and grind through yourself. But sometimes you just don't get to. So when something like this comes about, it's awesome. And I refuse to be judged for it.
Exactly. I mean, you play the games how you want to play them. If you want to spend the money on the cheats, that's fine. That's it's better than buying horse armor for Elder Scrolls 4, Bethesda.
Scott, please explain.
Back when DLC was first a thing, Bethesda was doing DLC for Elder Scrolls 4, and like they were putting out like little things like a new dungeon and stuff like that. But then there was one day where for $5, I believe, you could buy 2 sets of horse armor for your horse.
That's so ridiculous.
And yeah, for $5. And of course, being the fanboy I was of Elder Scrolls, I did it.
Yep.
And then at the same time, I'm making fun of myself going, you're such an idiot. Why would you waste your money on something like this that has really no use in the game? And
digital horse armor.
Yeah.
Looks cool.
Like, and that was like when DLC was like shamed, because it's like, this is what developers can do with it, make us spend our money on stupid stuff like this, and then it's come to where it is now.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah.
Well, that's what I really respect Capcom for what it's been doing with its DLCs lately. Like, not with Resident. I think that they kind of learned their lesson with Resident Evil 7, because they did banned footage 1 and 2, and it was $9.99 for each of those.
That's
and
so
then
expensive.
The End of Zoe was $14.99.
What? That's
Yeah.
crazy.
So those are 3 pieces of DLCs for $35, and there wasn't even that many. So that's like that's over half the price of an actual game, and there wasn't that many hours in it. So I think Capcom kind of learned their lesson when it came to DLCs, because those didn't go over well. And then now with this, they're releasing stuff for free, which I think is great. I mean, if you're already paying $60 for a game, that's not, and especially if most of the people who are playing are younger people, $60 for a game is like you're saving for this game. So
that's the only game you're going to play for a while.
Yeah.
Right. Like most people are like, I can get 2 new games a year. And then you're friggin' trading in your entire collection to
to
get $30 in store credit to be able to pick up another game. It's just like, I think more should do it like that.
Yeah, like I completely agree, especially like the cheat codes. If you could either put them in the game for us to discover, like Red Dead did,
but not make it impossible, like Resident
right
is kind of doing.
Right, and I was like, I don't mind like paying for them, like for a minimal fee, like $5. Sure, $5 is like pocket change nowadays.
Yeah.
But anything more than that, kiss my ass. Or if you try to sell the codes individually.
Oh,
because I've seen companies try to do that too.
And it's like $2 for a code. Yeah, no, but this was $5 for all mode unlocks, all unlimited ammo unlocks, all extra characters, all of it, which is pretty cool.
Right. Yeah, see, I'm down for that. I'd pay $5 for that, especially after I do my playthrough of Side A and Side B, and then I'll, buy that up and have fun with it then.
Yeah.
Well, what's your thoughts, Ruben?
Yeah, because
What, on cheat codes?
on any.
Yeah, like just the whole
life in the world as we know it.
Life. What's the number to you, the universe? Yeah. 76.
42.
Oh, 42. Yeah, no, I'm all for cheat codes. You play the games, you do you. If that makes you happy and you don't have time for a 100-hour day, never mind a week, then, go for it. If it upsets you, don't buy it.
Yeah. Simple as that.
Don't need to make other people's lives miserable because you don't like a thing. Yeah, I
think it was Greg from Kind of Funny Games. He always says, put your money where your mouth is.
Yeah, see, that works. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like if you're going to talk smack, don't spend the money. That's simple as that. You don't have to like completely bitch about it, but like if let the people enjoy what they enjoy.
Exactly.
I agree.
Amen.
Stay out of it. It's like don't worry about what other people do that doesn't affect you.
Right. Like if I could understand if it was something like a multiplayer game and they were spending tons of money for what was a Battlefront 2 back in the day, the loot boxes to get better items than everybody else in the beginning. Like no, don't do that. You can shame people for that being in the competitive place. I'll allow that.
That's fine, but yeah, on your own, the single player campaign.
Yep.
Well, did you guys have
let the person have fun?
Right? Did you guys have anything left to add in terms of topics or news or anything like that, or are we square for this week?
I think we are. We're running quite longer than I say usual, but this is our second podcast.
Well, be sure because this will post on the first episode posted on the Pop Horror YouTube channel. This one will post on the PopGaming Podcast channel. I believe. So if you like our podcast, we would appreciate a subscribe. Please like the video, comment.
Leave us a comment. Yep.
Yeah, what do you want to see us talk about? Not just, in games and topics related to games. Is there anything in particular you want us to talk about? Be sure to follow us on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook. And because we're going to be coming back. It's going to be every Saturday, every single week, talking about games. We're going to have between 2 to 4 hosts, or it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yep. Maybe occasional special guests for interviews. Like I'm hoping to have a few of my fellow podcasters from other podcasts join us at some point, one way or another.
Nice.
And we're planning to have a big kind of women in gaming event. Maybe 4 episodes dedicated to women in gaming, which will be awesome and make me happy.
Yes.
So we will have that coming up. And while you are there, because our intro and I don't know, do we have it as an outro too?
Yeah.
Okay, our intro and outro was created, like we said in the beginning, by Jonathon Tucker, who has a show called Robot Co-op, him and a couple friends on YouTube. So while you're here checking out our video, definitely check out Robot Co-op. It's pretty funny. It's almost like MST3K for video games.
Yeah, I was cracking up at some of their videos.
So they're pretty funny, and they're a member of Agony Wolf. So if you like our intro and outro, definitely check them out. And don't forget the notification bell so that you can always get notified when we post streams, when we post podcasts, when we're just hanging out. So yeah.
Yeah, do chat to us in the comments below, because one of us, I'm sure, will be commenting and replying. I think that's what we're all about. We'd love to chat to you guys and do the whole community thing. We're here to talk games and that whole world. So yeah, jump in below and ask Scott about all those posters that he has behind him.
Yeah. And their spider experiences too. I mean, we're open to that. All right, you guys. What?
I was gonna say, yeah, pretty much just drop any topic. We're willing to talk about anything, to an extent.
We're cool cats. We're on fleek, as the kids say.
I'm cool. I'm cool.
I'm hip to your lingo. Whatever. I don't know. All right. Well, thank you, Ruben. Thank you, Scott.
Yeah, thank you.
This was a lot of fun.
Thank you, everyone, for watching.
Woo! Woo!
And we will see you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye. I thought you were going to be doctor.
Doctor?